Hello, hello, lovely people out in the world listening or watching. And if you're watching, you'll notice my hair looks horrible today. No haircut yet, but thank you for coming in for episode 2 of Discover a Musical Vibe. I am your host, Vic from Drop Spotlight and Alamo City, Vita. Well. It's almost Turkey Day. As I'm filming this and recording this, I'm just here eating leftovers. So just preparing for the main course that comes soon, which is turkey and ham and some tamales on the side. Whichever part of America you're from or the world. But yes, guys, thank you for coming along today. I'm trying a different mic setup today. So I have my other lapel mic. I have my spotlight bag that I take for places just to have. Well, I reviewed it, so reviewed the product and use that. So as one of the things here I like to do is I like to be over prepared. I like to have a lot of different accessories. What is needed? Do you need wire? Do you need wireless? So it's good to know what is needed when you travel. So yeah, it's been a busy week in music. We'll talk more. A couple of new songs that I heard. One, we got a press release. The other one is a local San Antonio artist. I made a post on Facebook, ended up in my feed, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I forgot I had reviewed his music years ago. And so this is good to hear new music from this musician, King DJC. As well as we'll talk a little bit about a new tour coming in. It's a European tour, so no American dates yet, but fingers crossed for these bands. And then we'll divulge into the Sony Music. Okay, Victor, slow down and think about it again. I'll have a little list of things where I'm going to talk about my bullet points. Always good to have bullet points. And I misspelled it. It's Sony Music Latin. We do a lot of stuff. Press releases, music reviews from Sony Music Latin. We love our Latino. I'm a Latino too, so just chill. But we love to do a lot of music reviews for musicians from Latin America and from Spanish descent. So they had a great time at the Latin Grammy Awards with a label, the Orchard, which they swept a lot of awards in various categories, and we'll talk about that. I know that's going to take a bulk of our time. But first things first, news. Rising from the North tour featuring Arch Enemy and In Flames in 2024 have announced a European tour with special guest Soilwork. They're going to be traveling around Europe doing some kick-ass shows in 2024. So that's a good one there. I've seen In Flames twice, Soilwork once, and Arch Enemy once. So they're amazing musicians. They know how to throw down. So it should be epic shows out in Europe. So let's go on to our next category. I know that was a quick news. I didn't see much. There's just a lot of news that's covered out there, but there's some stuff that's skipped and overlooked. I like to make sure we look at we talk about the stuff that's overlooked and skipped. No other stuff out there that that people are not gyrating over. Like, oh my God, they're gonna talk about this person. No, there's a lot of news that needs to be discovered. Hence, Discover a Musical Vibe, guys. Some new songs we discovered. Going back to that. Pun intended. Of two musicians. And just know they're in our playlist on Spotify. So when you have a chance, we have it in the description on the YouTube video. It's on Spotify. Go to our page and it's there. Spotlight. And this musician, Caroline Romero, we've done press releases for music and reviews. So her newest track, Girl in a China Shop. It's a banger, man. We dig Caroline's music and it for a few years now. So we're excited she has some new music out. It's very aesthetic and you're gonna like it. You're gonna like it, y'all. Next musician is the one I talked about earlier. Is King DJC. He's a musician out of, I want to say San Antonio, but I could be wrong. But in the vicinity, we'll say from there. He got a new EP that came out, which I haven't checked out yet, but I've been low-key jamming to his new track, No Tomorrow. It's a pretty good. It's hip hop mixed with a little bit of rock and rap, and it's really good, y'all. You're gonna want to listen to it over and over again. It's different and unique, and it hits hard. It hits hard, and pardon me again. I haven't gotten my coffee yet, guys, so no excuses. But anyways, King DJC with No Tomorrow. It's a fantastic song. These two artists, Caroline Romero and King DJC, is musicians that you need to discover. They have their new songs that are out, which is good. I dig it. But they do have previous EPs and albums that you're going to enjoy. So discover them, check them out. If it's for you, it's for you. If not for you, no worries. Just be sure to be accustomed to look at new music and see if it's for you. Just don't skip over it thinking, oh, it's not for me. And 5 years later, like, oh my God, what was I? Happens to me a lot, and I try not to do that no more, where I'm like, I don't like the first 5 seconds, or I don't like the name of the song, I don't like the name of the musician, but when you fully give a taste of it and listen, you're just screaming with joy, and it's something that I personally need to stop doing as well. So, the new songs. Any concert reviews? No, Victor. I was denied or wasn't responded back to for the Enrique Iglesias, Pitbull, and Ricky Martin. I know one of my agents, PR agents that we do music for, are going to reach out, like, Victor, why didn't you cover this? I reached out to the venue. No response. And I guess they're transitioning to a new employee there, so I got lost in the transition. So, communication. One thing I want to throw out there is communication with all parties. I am one of those people that it's not good with confrontation, as well as should be talking more about what's on his mind, or what's on my mind will probably piss off a lot of people, as well as feel indifference where I think emotionally. But either way, it's just how we harness our thoughts, harness the way we talk, and focus on words and the discussion where it should be appropriate. And communication is one thing. So I told myself it was most likely my fault because I didn't reach out a few days earlier. I'm one of those over-prepared people, so I like to make sure I have this ticket, I have this, parking taken care of, where do I go, time. I like to be over-prepared on that. And I'm still like an hour or 2 hours early to the venue before doors open. Why? Because I like to be over-prepared. That's how I'm built. It happens. Many people arrive 5 minutes before the musicians come out because they're late, or vice versa. But I'm built differently, and that's okay. But communication is one thing in anything you need to do. Communicating with the PR agent, communicating to the marketing manager, communicating to your fans. The way to convey yourself, the way to talk. You know what I mean? Like, I would talk a certain way how I talk to a marketing manager at an event compared to how I talk to a person trying to promote their music. First things first, I will convey information of what is needed and directions to a marketing manager, what is needed from my side. Do I need to do a picture? Do I need to do TikTok or Instagram video? Do I have to share prior to my stories as well as talk about it to my fans? So, conveying those instructions compared to talking to a musician who's trying to promote himself, where they'll just tell you, hey, I got songs, check it out. Cool. What kind of songs? And it happens everywhere because you don't know how to describe your music. You want to say, oh, I'm hip hop. Okay, cool, you're hip hop. What do you do? What does your song describe? And a lot of people put their feelings into their music, their emotions, so it's hard to describe those emotions, which I get. And it's just like your intro. You got to create an intro of yourself and what you are, like an elevator pitch, to promote and communicate to others of your music. So the communication is it's big, and it determines if someone's going to listen to your music, take the time to sit down and listen to it, or they're just going to push it to the side, either delete or just throw it in the trash. And when I talk to a lot of local musicians and other musicians, when I attended the South by Southwest, I was at this local music event. I was at this music event with musicians from around the country, and our conversations were just about that. How do I convey my thoughts, my patterns, and my music to listeners, future fans? So they may not be the traditional listeners of your music, but they are people that listen. And that's the hard part. And a lot of them had, and I would talk to them about it, just like, you got to create an intro. Who are you? But don't go into depth. Just like, my name is Vic. I'm from Drop the Spotlight. I'm the managing partner and editor at Drop the Spotlight company. We're a social media discovery, photography, videography, the work. You get into nitty gritty and give them the insight of who you are. And it's always good to update your intro as well, because you grow and build. Like I have to update my intro as well, my elevator pitch, because we grow. We went viral again on the social media platform. That's why you see me looking other ways. I got a comment, I got a like, I got to share. And I hate notifications because it distracts me, but it's to convey, you have to continue updating yourself, and with the communication, you're totally different of how you were 1 year ago to today. A lot of things change in a day. A lot of things change in a year. So the communication part, it's very needed for an individual musician, for media like myself, a journalist, as well as people in the industry. You gotta know how to convey and talk to your people. And communication is one thing. I get bombarded by emails a day. I get maybe 200 emails on my music email alone, which is converted to a music email, admin@dropspotlight.com. I had thought about it, just calling it music@dropspotlight.com, but it's just ingrained itself for so many years. I'm like, why would I want to change it? I'll have to transfer it eventually, but that's going to take time. I don't got time right now. I got so much stuff to do. So I'm going back to that, and it's just to the communication part. It's just how to convey it, I listen to every music email I get. There's a lot of songs I don't like. There's songs that I do enjoy, and I push and I communicate. And it's just having all your details correct. Does that link work that I can listen to? Does the image work? Does the words work, And I'm not one of those big, I gotta write 5-10 paragraphs, because who the fuck's gonna read that? My viewers are not gonna fucking read that. They wanna know straight to the point, no fluff. And they want a link, image of the musician, social media, and a couple of things of the song. What I thought, did I dig it? Did I like it? What did I like? Do I like the beat? Do I like the lyrics? Do I like the song? You know what I mean? And that's why music, I don't rate it. I don't rate it from 0 to 10. Like how I do for fandom, gaming, entertainment, as well as technology, products and reviews and whatnot. Music reviews, I'm straight to the point. because this is much more different than the product review. It's a music and emotional review. So that's how I convey and communicate with my fans and my readers. So communication, it's a whole other ballpark to know, but the musicians that are listening right now, first things first, create an intro of you, who you are. If you have to write a paragraph, and then you start cutting it down to 2 to 3 sentences. And then you go through the same thing for your music, your song or your album, not your you could do your overall music. I'd rather have you promote your newest song, your newest album EP in 2 to 3 sentences. Think about that. Look at that and chart it and write it down and continue to write it over. Write it over. Read it to yourself. Talk to yourself about it. Read that statement to friends, to family, to random people on the street. Tell them, does it sound right? Does it sound majestic? Because it has to get your attention, get my attention, get the marketing manager attention, get the art agent's attention, get the recording studio's attention, get the fans' attention. Just remember that. And you just go from there. Community-wise, you're going to have to be that one person that smiles, shakes hands with everybody. And that's what I've been learning how to do. I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, so I kind of nerd out. I'm like, Then I walk away from that situation, grab a coffee or give myself an excuse, but I'm training myself not to convey that in a different way where I use a better use of my vocabulary as well as my body language. So, intro to communication. I know I talked a lot about that. It's something very serious, very needed, because if not, you miss out on the concerts. Your venue misses out on proper promotion and marketing for future shows. You miss out on that one listener that could actually listen to your music, share it on their timeline, share it to their friends, share it to their family, and listen to it 3-4 times a day. And those are 4 or 5 views that garners into 20 listens a week, 40 listens every 2 weeks, and more. Always remember that it just takes one person, one listener, one agent, one marketing manager. Always remember that. Anyways, now no concerts because of that, lack communication. We are going out to the big enchilada, the big thing. Sony Music Latin, artist with the Orchid label and its affiliates, lead the 24th annual Latin Grammy Awards. Like they won hella awards, y'all. Like they conquered to the point where I had the email. They sent it to me because I didn't believe them. One person's name, I want to say musician, but he's a songwriter and a producer that's been blowing up. He's been writing music and producing music for the biggest names out there. And he's from the Rio Grande Valley originally. McAllen, I think, or Mission? Edinburgh? One of the Valley. His name's Edgar Barrera. And I was supposed to meet him during an event in Austin. I didn't get to make it out there, and I should have done. I should have gone out there, shake his guy's hand, do an interview, and talk to him. But this guy is everywhere. So I know a lot of musicians are going out there talking to him. And get their music, have him write their music, be a songwriter, help them. You know what I mean? And he's done it for a lot of big name musicians. So Sony Music Latin and the Orchids, which are affiliate labels, took home some big names, big name awards, including Record of the Year by Natalia Lafourcade with De Todas las Flores. Record of the Year, y'all. Then Song of the Year with Biz Rap featuring Shakira. And that's a big one right there for the Music Sessions Volume 53. There's a best traditional pop vocal album by Andres Cepeda called Decimo Cuarto. And the best pop song, again, Biz Rap featuring Shakira. So, it's not bad. And then best urban song, dun, 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 Biz Rap featuring Cuevado. And that's big. That's with Dale Play Records, which is in collaboration with the Orchard. Okay. I gotta work on my vocal. Ooh, yeah. And not only from the pop and urban, they got alternative. So Dante's Peñata got the best alternative song for Helado Oscura del Corazón. And they also got, of course, Best Cumbia with Carlos Vives. Escalona nunca se había grabado así. Warning, I forgot to do that warning. My Spanish accent isn't that good. I do have a lisp, so a lot of things I say don't sound correct or too non-Latin. I'm trying to make it as easy as and listenable as possible. And let's see. Natalia Lafourcade got Best Singer-Songwriter Album with De Todos las Flores, as well as Best Song. Christian Nodal Forajido EP2 for Best Ranchero Mariachi Album. Juan Trevino, Para Empezar al Amor, Best Tejano Album. Best Folk Album, Vicente Garcia. Best Flamenca Album, Nina Pastori. As you can see, I'm scrolling. There's still. Then you got the best porkages. I can't pronounce that. Apologize. It's the best Portuguese language urban performance on Planet Hemp, featuring Cirulo for Dystopia. That's my lisp is acting up again, guys. And I haven't gotten my coffee yet. So, Best Fusion Urban, Shakira with Karol G. So it's so many. So we do a lot of stuff with Sony Music Latin US market. And we do it with the Orchid as well, as a distributed company, as well as they work with labels and artists as well to get the music out there. But they took over the Latin Grammys in Spain, Seville, Spain, I believe that's it, where they was at. And that's huge. That's huge for a label. That's huge for a distributed company that works with multiple labels and artists. It shows who's listening, what's out there. And this isn't, people think, Latin music, they're doing the baracha. No, this is alternative. This is rap. This is rock. Pop. Open up your minds, y'all. There's a lot out there. People don't realize that. They just... I'm trying to think about a proper word, but in a late enhancements. They haven't enhanced their mind to what's out there. So they associate the Latin with just Mexican music, mariachi, but there's so much out there. Alternative, rock, pop. People don't realize that. And with the Latin Grammys, they took over Sony Music Latin. And that's huge. That is huge. And they got names out there. A lot of the names we do post on our website. Been trying to do more music, more Latin music out there for reviews. But the ones that didn't win an award but performed underneath the Sony Music Latin name, Shakira, Bizarrap, but also Romeo Santos, Rosalia. Alejandro Sainz, as well as Kenny Garcia, Christian Nodal, Maluma. So it shows the names that are out there, but also they are no more than those certain names for those certain, pop, mariachi, bachata. They have alternative, rock, rap, urban, hip hop. It's, I think, country as well. I didn't, not that I noticed here, but I noticed that that's coming out more. So yes, Sony Music Artists lead the 24th annual Latin Grammy Awards, and big shout out to those artists. Big shout out to Sony Music Latin, as well as the Orchid and their affiliates, including Gas. Was it a, as you can tell, I'm reading off an email. Dale Play Records. Gas. No mames, Victor. But yes, guys, that is huge in the music sense. So while you're going down to or traveling for this Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving's coming up, Sirius XM radio turned on their radios on in your cars. So when you're traveling, be sure to check out some music. Go to some stations, check out some new music. I fully recommend Octane with Jose Mangan. He does an amazing job. Listen to a lot of musicians, but also just go through stations, listen to a song or two, discover a song, discover a musician while you're listening. And have fun, guys. Thank you for listening along to episode 2 of Discover Musical Vibe podcast. I'm so glad we're doing this and just getting this out there, guys. So yeah, this is Vic from Discover and Musical Vibe podcast. We'll see you on the musical airwaves.